So Namaloha everyone, welcome to the live stream, and let me know if you can hear me clearly. That would be great. And let me just pull up the comments. Okay, great. Great. Okay. So just let me know in the comments section if you can hear me okay, that I'm clear. And I will begin. Okay. So let me just get this image properly here. Okay. And then we'll start. There we go. Great. Okay. Comments. Okay. Sound is good. Thank you very much. Great. So today, so in case you're new to my channel, my name's Michael Neutrino, and this is Neutrino Astrology, which is a synergy of the human design system and astrology and the tarot. And I'm also, one of my main tools is also Kundalini Yoga and meditation as well. And the channel is really about moving through this great age, the age of Aquarius, and also the cross of the sleeping phoenix that's beginning in 2027. Okay, so if you don't know your human design, that's fine. Just always go down to my information box and you'll find a link to your chart. You can get your free chart. Okay, and also twin flames, of course, too. So I'm going to talk about the transits a little bit. So you want to follow, make sure that you've subscribed to my channel, because you'll learn about your human design natal chart by just following my transit reports, because there's also teaching as well, right? And what else did I want to say? And then I talk about the transits, and then I do readings using the tarot and ego heads up thing as it applies to the transit report, and that's for each type, and also the twin flames. Okay, so how is everybody doing? Are you doing okay? Just put that in the chat. Are you feeling the shift in energy? We're going through huge shifts, and remember that the new moon is tomorrow, the 30th. Well, it depends where you live. It could be December 1st and for me it's December 30th or November 30th, but it's December 1st on the mainland. Yeah. And before we start, I was having a Thanksgiving dinner with some friends last night, and we were all talking, and they're all helper bees. They're helper bees in their own way. And they were just talking about that they felt this shift, and I felt it too, that kind of our hard work is over now. I don't know, maybe you can resonate with this or not, about helping wake people up, basically. And that this is the time that people have made their choice. They've made their choice. The timeline, Pluto and Aquarius, is all about the new timeline. So I really feel strongly that the heavy lifting is over for the helper bees. You know who you are out there. And if you're on my fractal line, you're definitely a helper bee, right? And somebody asked me, what's this fractal line thing you talk about? I may do a little blog article or a video or something and put it on my website, but it's the 144,000 templates, right? Let me get this up here. I'll just review it quickly. So it's 144,000 templates. Okay, so these are what's called fractal lines, and you can't see my thing. Okay, 144,000 templates. So you could also say that this is your soul tribe, so you belong on one of these 144,000, right? So how you recognize somebody if they're on your fractal is you feel your vehicle, your physical body just feels very, very at ease and comfortable when you're around someone that's on your fractal. You'll feel at peace. You'll feel quiet. There's a quietness that happens, and there's just a familiarity, right, when you're on someone's fractal. So what we've been dealing with, I mean, this is what the 44 is the shadow of interference. So we've had this interference frequency, and this is through our conditioning field, where it's kept us separate. It's kept us away from our true fractal line. So we ended up matching up with people that are not on our fractal lines, and this is what causes conflict. And you'll know when somebody, especially now, you're going to know when somebody's not on your fractal line. You're just not going to feel at ease. And for me personally, it's like there's an agitation, I want to call it, in my being. It's getting more and more sensitive, and it's really, maybe some people can resonate with what I'm talking about. It's getting more and more sensitive. It's always been there, but with the conditioning, you talk yourself out of what's going on inside. And I can't even say it's it's not emotional. It's like just this agitation inside me now with certain people. And I got the information the other night. It's like, oh, this is me my system is getting so attuned. It's going to the next level. I can really feel it. And what I'm sensing is that other person's inauthenticity, right? And it's like my whole vehicle and everything is just like, I need to move away from this person or this group of people or whatever. So you may resonate with that. So yeah, put it in the chat if you can kind of connect with what I'm talking about. But this bifurcation of consciousness is happening. Like, people are really making their choices now, what timeline they're going to follow. So yeah, so which leads me into today. Today's discussion is all about the nodes. The nodes. So the nodes right here. So you're familiar with, if you're familiar with astrology, you know the horseshoes, right? There's the south node and then the north node, right? So the one pointing down, that's the north node, and the one going up is the south node. So I want to approach this from the human design perspective, and then we'll go into like the astrological perspective. Okay, so this is changing. So this is basically our movie, right? This is the movie right here, right? This is the movie. And so this is what we're designed. This is the transit chart, right? So whenever you see a transit chart, you're only going to see the black numbers. But in your natal chart, you're going to have a list of numbers here, and that's the red side, and that's your unconscious or your form consciousness, right? And then you've got the black side. So these are really important in terms of transit, okay? So this is the conditioning field that we're under, and we've been in the 18 and the 17. And did I write that date down? Let's hope I wrote it down. I have my ephemeris too here. Okay, yeah, I did. So July 20th. So the nodes have been in the 18 and the 17 since July 20th of this year, right? And then this is ending December 4th. It's going to move into the 2546, right? So this is basically the movie, right? If you want to call it the movie, right? And the movie is what we see. What we see out in the external world, that's the movie, the movie. So the movie since July has been the 17, 18, okay? And 17 and 18, right? The 18 is here, comes off the spleen, that's the splenic awareness system here, and then the 17 comes off the ajna, your personal mind. These two are called programming partners. So the movie that we've been seeing is, how does the world needs to be fixed, right? The world needs to be fixed. This is what we've been focusing on, right? The world needs to be fixed. And the world has flaws. The world has a lot of flaws. There's a lot of fixing that needs to be done, right? So we've been really focused on that as a collective. And the other question that came up during this time for most people is how, and they may not have articulated it in this way, but this is the intention, was how can I serve, right? Or how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? So you always want to look at the other side, right? When you look at the nodes, because this makes a channel, right? The channel of what, this is like the 18 is correct what's been spoiled, right? It's so the 58 here, so the 18 is about challenging authority. And then the 58 is, do we have the energy, right? Do we have the 18 will see the 18 will see what needs to be fixed, but it needs the 58. Do I need, right? I need the energy to challenge authority. I need the energy to challenge authority. So I definitely could see this since July in politics and just world events, right? And then the 17 is all I see is flaws. All I see is flaws. All I see is what's wrong, right? And then the 62, and I talked about this in a previous YouTube not too long ago, and this is about organizing people. How do we organize to fix, right? We need to fix this earth. Okay, so that's the old movie. That's the old movie, the old collective movie that we've been looking at. And it's also about opinions, right? It was also about opinions. That's the 17, and judgment. Like a lot of judgments, a lot of opinionated people expressing their opinions, a lot of judgmental people. We've seen that too. But we've seen this real fixing energy, right? And so the big question with the 17-18 is like, how can we move into the future, right? How can we move into the future with some kind of security, right? So what we're talking about here, the 17 and the 18, is logic, right? Logic is all about the future, and it's all about establishing some kind of security. So people have been really looking at this, right? How can we move into the future? How can I be safe? Should I get into cryptocurrency? Should I take all my money out of the bank? Should I sell my house? Should I move away to another country? Like all those kinds of questions. That would be the 17-18, right? Logic. It's about logic. And it's very concerned with the future. The 17-18 are very, very, very concerned with the future. Okay, so that movie's changing. Okay. Here, that movie's changing. And then we're moving into this new movie right here. This 2546 on December 4th and 5th. Okay, so remember that this is a conditioning field. And I'm going to go into like, is this correct for you or not to see this movie? Right? Because you're here to have your own unique experience of your movie, whatever that is. So this is the conditioning field, right? So the 25 is really interesting because it's about innocence. And it's in the North Node right here. So there's the self, right? This is the G center. I call it the JI center. So remember, I approached human design from a spiritual perspective. So the 25 there, right, is coming off the G center. And this is an individual gate. It's an individual gate. It comes from an individual channel. Remember, the other two are collective. And then the 46, which is collective right here, right? So this is all about being in the moment. Just until I get my notes here. Okay, there we are. So it's one of the love gates, but I'll talk about that, and I'll get back to that, this 25. So it's about your identity, and it's really about love. The 25 is about love. And remember that we're in this Aries Libra axis, right? We've been in this since December of last year. I just want to get my dates correct. We've been August 23rd. August 23rd. We've been in the Libra, right? Because these correlate to zodiac signs, the Libra Aries axis, right? And that's been all about our relationships. So this too is about our relationships, and that's going to end in January 31st. 31st? Yeah. 31st or the 30th. It's going to end. Okay. Right there. So that's all about our relationships, right? So this is about, it's about innocence. And it's really about looking the 25 and the 46 together, right? It's about looking beyond appearances. It's looking beyond appearances. So it's seeing beneath the veil. Remember I talked about that, I had that meme about the before living in the Matrix and then after the Matrix. Remember I talked about that in my last live stream? This is about when you start waking up, you start to look beyond the veil. You start to look beyond the glamoring and the surface of the Maya, right? Of the external world, of this movie. This is a movie, remember? So it's looking beyond appearances here. That's what we're called to do with the 46 and the 25. And second here. Yeah, it's about an illusion. It's about looking beyond the illusion of the 2546. And it's about really cutting through appearances, the 4625. So we're going to be really focused on that until the end of January. Right? Is that truth? And that's what I was just talking about your system, right? Like truth is about a frequency. Right? It's not a logical. This is not logical, right? The other two were logical. This is not logical. It has nothing to do with the mind. So it's a frequency. So what I see with my two eyes, don't allow your mind to come in and interpret what you're seeing with your two eyes, because you need to look beyond the appearances. Whatever is being shown to you, you need to go inside to the deeper self. This is the 25. 25 is about surrendering to yourself, surrendering to your soul, not your ego, right? And this is where the frequency is. That's your frequency of truth. That's your Satnam, right? If you're a Kundalini yogi, right? It's your truth and it's a frequency. This is what you go to, right? You don't go to the mind. Oh, I'm interpreting this. I'm making a bunch of assumptions that may or may not be true. Right? Neptune is still in Pisces, right? That's its rulership, is Pisces. And this is all about the great illusion. It's coming into Aries in 2026, right? So we have to get used to going inside for our truth, not to our mind, and certainly not to other people that live by their minds, that are so-called experts. You want to go, do you understand what I'm saying? You go into that, you go deep inside. This is a surrender to the self, right? Surrender to the soul, surrender to the soul. And then you get to frequency, and then you can totally see beyond what you're being shown, right? This is what the movie, people are going to be really focused on this. Look at falling for appearances, because remember, it's a binary. It's always a binary. So it's either looking beyond the appearances or refusing to look. Right? And that's going to be these people that are not on your timeline. They're going to be refused to look beyond, right? To the truth. To the truth. Okay. So it's about perception. So it's also about thinking, like the 46. Remember, you got to look to the other side. This is the channel of discovery, the 4629. I have the 29. Let me know if you've got the 46 or the 29 or the 25 or the 51, right? In the chat or in the comments in the replay. So you want to look to the other. So the 46 is about luck, right? I'm in the right place at the right time. It's all about luck, right? I just have to show up in the moment, right? In my innocence, and I'm successful, right? This is all about successful. That's a big word here. I'm successful because I'm lucky. How many people have that belief system? Oh, they're just lucky. That's why they're so successful. That's why they have all these clients. That's why they have all these followers, right? That's why they seem to be like they got it all. They were just lucky. They were just lucky. So this is another illusion that we're called to penetrate, because that 29, that's about commitment, right? This is about commitment. I've got this prominent in my chart. Like I've been tested on this over and over and over and over again, is my commitment. And it's about showing up. It's about discipline, right? It's about discipline. So this is the illusion. There's no success isn't lucky. It's this, right? Success is this. It's your commitment. It's your discipline. It's your discipline. It's showing up as yourself, right? So it's like really blowing this belief pattern out of the water. Because remember, Jupiter is opposing Mercury, right? It's still in that transit program, and that's blowing up all of these belief systems. We have to bring up every single belief system, and it's up for review, right? Mercury retrograde. It's up. All this stuff's up for review. So this is what gives you fulfillment of purpose, right? So it's like looking beyond this about this lucky. I just got bad luck, right? And remember, this is about perception. This is the movie, so it's about the perception. And a lot of people have this, right? They have this. We're going to see it more and more and more. So it's really deceptive, right? This 4625 of the shadow pattern, it can be really, really deceptive, right? That, I just have to act innocently, not do any hard work, not do the discipline, not do the commitment. And I'm sure if you're on this channel, you've been following me for a while, you have this. If you practice Kundalini Yoga and meditation and you have a regular sadhana practice, you know this. You got to show up. That's when success comes for people. And this is the right way to do it anyway, because then you're ready for it, right? When success does come. Okay. And this is also the 25th gate. This is the gate of the priest and the priestess, too. It's the gate of the priest and the priestess. So it's very, it's got a mythical quality to it, right? The 25. So we may be seeing religion popping up more and more, right? During this transit, too. Like people looking at this, looking for some kind of religion. Because really what people are looking for, and they don't know it, their spirit, right? That's what they're looking for, is they're looking for their soul. They're looking for their divinity, their inner divinity. They know this. They know this, that their mind doesn't know this, but the soul does. The soul's calling them, right? And so where do people go when they have this? Like, all this stuff's happening in my life and I've got no control, and right, I feel like I'm just losing it, right? I'm having a nervous breakdown, right? And this is their spirit and their soul is calling them, right? Everything's falling apart. This is the cross of planning too, falling apart, so that we come to our spirit and soul and come to the truth of who we are. Well, most people they'll go here. They'll go to religion first. This is like going, I want to eat, so I'm going to go to McDonald's. Right? The fast food of spirituality. I'm going to go to a religion, right? So we're going to see this more and more, right? This religion, or maybe go to some new age thing. Because remember that I talked about that fear, right? People are going to be motivated by fear with the Pluto and Aquarius transit. Fear and going to groups of people. I feel safe, right? So I'm going to go to these groups of people. And that's not a good idea, right? This is a conditioning field. This is a total conditioning field that may or may not be correct for you. Okay. So, and then let's look at, okay, so I think you understand the things illusion. Okay, so it's going to bring the illusion. Basically, the 2546 is going to bring up the illusion that needs to be penetrated, that needs to get to the truth. We're going to see like the ultimate illusion during this time period. People are going to be able to see through it, or not. Okay, so that's the human design perspective. And then the South Node, North Node. So the North Node is where we want to go as a collective, where we're called to go. So the 17, like back to the 17 that we've been in, we've been leaving the 18. So leaving judgment, leaving behind judgment, and then moving more into this holistic, right? Seeing the whole. So like a holistic view of the world, a holistic view of yourself, moving beyond duality. Okay? So I'll show you where you guys go that are watching, right? So that you elevate. Of course, we're going to see the shadow of this movie, but you want to see the light too, right? So that all depends on your frequency if you're going to see the highest light of manifestation of this. Okay? So the 46, this is what the shadow is. So we'll see this out in the world. And so these are people, and if you have this natally, let me know if you have it natally or you know somebody that has this natally. So this is the ego, the not self. You'd never want to be listening to the ego, not self, but that voice gets really, really loud when you're in the shadow. And this is the shadow. And the shadow is seriousness. That's the shadow. So this is what we're being called to leave behind, this 46. So how do you know you're in the shadow? Is you're too focused on the future or the past, not on the present moment. Focused on the future or past. Living life like you're only submerged in matter, right? You're just a statue, basically, right? That's all you know is your matter. Your five senses, your brain, right? Your brain, not even your mind, your brain, your five senses, and then your body, and then your body. And when you're in the shadow, you create obstacles wherever you go. And the ego tells you that you've got to be super serious, and your sensuality and enjoyment of life feels frozen. You pretend to be all laid back and chill and lighthearted, but when the facade is broken, deadly serious, these people. Don't like your body. Don't like your body. And look at all the body stuff, right, that we're seeing right now with the augmentation. This is the transhumanism, all the augmentation and to the body and the Botox and all that stuff. A lot of people have hatred of their bodies, and that's the conditioning field, right? Because there's a lot of power to be in the body. That's what we're being, this is the new spirituality, is to be in the body, right? To really inhabit the body. It's a new spirituality. We've already done, the yogis and the masters have already traveled through the cosmos, basically, through the astral plane and through the cosmos and through the different realms. We've already done that. We don't need to do that anymore. Now we have to come back into the body. We've got to be the divine, right? The divine. Your divine self walking this earth. Right? Divinity, bringing heaven to earth. That's what that means. We're bringing heaven to earth. So that means to come back into the body. Right? But what's the shadow? Here's the shadow. I don't like my body. I see a lot of flaws in my body. I don't love my body. Right? And this is where your vital energy turns sour. And also the ego will tell you life should be different than what it is. Right? It's always different. I'm never happy. Never happy with how my life is. And I'm only a material being. That's it. This is what one life, and that's it. So I got to grab what I can, right, in this lifetime. And this is seriousness. So there's a real fear of the physical body with the shadow. And so the shadow is victimized by over-seriousness and over-seriousness. So this is what we're being called to let go of, right, the 46. And then into embrace the 25, and that's universal love. That's universal love. This is unconditional love, right? So unconditional love. And so a lot of people think that love is this, unconditional love. And that's not true. We live in a world that's ego love. And ego love comes with a lot of conditions, right? A lot of conditions. So a lot of relationships, if you look deeply, right? Look at deeply in your own relationship or others' relationship. Maybe yours is different. It's transactional. There's always an exchange. This is the tribal version of love. You do this for me, and I do this for you. That's the bargain, right? A lot of relationships are usury. That means I want something from you, and if I don't get it, what I want from you, then I cut you off, right? I have no time for you anymore. A relationship, you didn't give me what I wanted. We think this is love, right? We think this is love. And it's not, because it comes with a bunch of conditions, right? This is the tribal love, you know? Like, even go to these channels, the channel of synthesis. This is the marriage. 1949 says, you obey me, right? You obey me. You give me sex twice a week, Saturday and Sunday, and then I pay the bills and I do this for you. You don't give me this, then we're done, right? Rejection. This is the channel of divorce, right? Then I reject you. This is rejection or acceptance. This demands obedience, love, honor, and obey. This is the tribal consciousness that's going, right? This 1949. The 1949 is being mutated, the channel of synthesis. This is the shadow of codependence, the 19, right? Demands obedience. So that's just in marriage. That's not even talking about our relationship with like the rulers of the planet, right? And then the 4037, you support me, right? You support me, and I bring home the bread, and you go and you bake it, right? You go and make the meal. You support me in this way, right? The 4037, that's another marriage thing. But these are tribal, right? The 4037 is tribal right there. So the 25 is no. That's unconditional love, right? It's unconditional love. And where is that unconditional love coming from? It's not coming from the ego. It's a deep surrender to your soul. Your soul is made up of love, right? The frequency of love. Love is powerful. It's not this emotionality that we've been taught. Hallmark cards and rom-coms and love songs and sappy and all, Valentine's Day, all that stuff. This is like the powerful frequency, and it underlies everything. It underlies our whole existence is this love, and it's unconditional love, right? So the 25 is you surrender to your soul, which is love, and then you're like this overflowing cup, right? You're an overflowing cup of love, and you just love everyone around you, right? That's what we're being called to do. This is about accepting, like a deep, deep acceptance, you know, of, well, let's go, programming partner, the 46, like start with your body, your own body, like a deep, deep acceptance of your body and your partner and other people, right? And not expecting things from them, not this tit for tat transactional kind of love. So it's really interesting to me that this is what's finishing up, right? This axis. Because if you look at Aries, right? Aries here, 25's the last one. Do you see? It's been through all of these, right? The Aries, the 20, and then Libra on the other side is the South Node, right? Going this way. This is the end. And then it's going to go in January. It's going to move. The nodes are moving into Pisces, Virgo. That's a whole other different movie that's coming. But this is the end of our relationship axis, right? So maybe you haven't, maybe you're starting to see the truth in your relationships. Like the masks are coming off. You have to be in deep denial not to really see people now of who they really are, for light or dark, right? Are they on your fractal line or not, right? So this is the end here, and that's the unconditional love. Yeah. And, right? And then this is the channel of initiation, the 2551. This is initiating. This is like a deep, deep surrender into the self. And you're like, well, how can I do that? How can I do that? Well, meditation really helps, right? Meditation helps because it's going to let you, because the only thing stopping you from this deep surrender to yourself, to the soul, is the ego. is the ego is stopping you. And meditation is like, meditate, especially Kundalini yoga and meditation uses mantra. And mantra is like a soap. It's a soap for this ego, right? It's the guru you hear, right? The guru's not a person. The guru's not a man or a woman or a person. The guru is a subtle energy of truth, right? The ru. The ru takes you out of the goo, right? And the goo is the darkness of the ego. The goo is the darkness of the ego. Most people are stuck in the goo. And the ru takes you out. That's the light. Takes you into the light, right? Into the light. And it's an energy, and it's inside you. You have your own guru inside you. But what we do is we outsource everything, right? It's, oh, my guru's a person. They're going to do all the work. No, this is not the time to be going to the external and giving your power away. It's about going within, right? So meditation really helps, and mantra is like that. It's a Shabbat guru, right? It cuts through the ego so that you can experience your divinity. So I would suggest, right, I've got some meditations on my website and my channel to do them for 40 days to really embrace this 25. Because don't you want to be a conduit of unconditional love? That sounds pretty good to me, because it's going to be flowing through you too. And then it doesn't matter, right? You can spread that love everywhere. So this is the end of the story for our relationships during this time period. Yeah. What else did I want to say about that? I think that's it for there. And then we'll go to your personal movie right here. Okay. A good master of unconditional love, if you're looking for it, is a pet. Go to your dog or your cat, right? Or your friend's dog or cat. They know how to love without conditions. They don't hold on to grudges, keeping score. I did this for you, you do this for me. That's all tribal consciousness is going. Yeah. Okay. Yes. You want to be the living truth, which means you're the embodiment of truth right now. Yeah. So ready for a new movie. Okay. So if we go to, that's the collective movie that we're in. So let me know if you have this, the 2546, or maybe you have the 1718 natally, right? And this is also showing us too. I forgot this because these are, this is the exact time that the nodal axis changes, right? And there's the channel of transitoriness. That's about embarking on a whole new experience, an emotional new experience. Yeah. Yeah, that's another video. I don't want to get into that yet. Okay. So let's go to your movie. So you have your own movie. So you want to look at your natal chart and you want to look at these two numbers. So that's what you're supposed to see out in the world. This is the conditioning field. So yes, notice these things. This isn't my movie, but I notice them because it's what I do, right? It's and I'm a projector, and I've got the 17 like in a major position in my chart, my natal chart. It's about farsightedness and seeing patterns. So this is the conditioning field. So this is what we're all conditioned to, like, look over here at this movie, right? But you want to be going to your movie. Like, what are you supposed to see? So you want to look at your nodes. What are you supposed to see? So this is your environment, right? So this isn't your conditioned environment. You were born into this environment. Like the people that are born after December 4th and 5th, this is going to be their movie, natally. They're going to see this. They're going to notice this out in the world. And if they don't, then they're in a conditioned movie. They're focusing their energy on the wrong things. Remember, the new moon in Sagittarius is activating the 9. That's about focusing your energy. So you want to focus your energy on your movie, right? Where you're designed to play out your purpose. So it's your environment where you're designed to play out your purpose. And so the North Node, remember what the North Node with the horseshoe pointing down, right? Your North Node, that really comes in after 40, right? Because that's when Uranus opposes your sun, right? So after 40, you move more into this North Node, And basically, you're an adult when you turn 40 because you've gone through a maturation process. It's not, during the times of Saturn when we just, Saturn was the furthest planet that we could see, then, we were dead at, 28, 29, 30, 31, 33, right? The Saturn return here, right? We'd be dead then. And then we discovered Uranus, right? And 40 is real, it takes 84 years for Uranus to orbit the Earth. That's our lifespan. So 40 is your midlife. It's your midlife. And this is when you're an adult. You're officially an adult, spiritually officially an adult. You've gone through a maturation process. And this is when you want to really embrace your North Node. And it's interesting because you'll attract people. I've noticed this with doing readings with people, is people are attracted to me, like my son. They'll be attracted, the people with the North Node that resonate with my son, like my son's an 8. I attract a lot of these 8-14 people to me, right? Or myself, I'll attract 10-15s as well, right? So you'll start to notice these patterns, right? There's a rhyme and there's a pattern to who you're attracting to you for your destiny, right? So this is about your movie. So your movie. So you want to look at okay, my movie's not this, but I like, because I'm a projector. I like watching what the conditioning field is doing, but I know that that's not my movie. I'm not here to notice these things. I'm here to notice, I've got the 10, right? The 10, 15. I'm here to notice behavior, people's behavior. That's what really bugs me too. It always has, even since I was a child. I would notice how people would treat one another, right? Out in public. It really got to me. Okay, so you want to look at your own, both. Somebody said, are we looking at red and black? We're just talking about black for now. But the red side you want to look at too, and that's kind of your early development years. If you go to the nodes on the red side, that will be your early, your family life, right? And so by 40, you're done with that. Yeah. But this is what you're going to notice is your perspective, right? This is the stage. I'm here to do my destiny and to walk my soul's purpose, and this is the stage I'm on, and this is what I'm noticing. This is my movie. Okay, correlates to my nodes. I'm being authentic, right? If you're watching something else, then you're in somebody else's movie, right? It's like the multi-cineplex, and you've got the ticket, and you're watching some other movie. It's not you. It's not the ticket. You want to use your ticket, and that's your nodes. You want to be watching your movie. That's where you'll grow and evolve. You won't grow and evolve in somebody else's movie, right? But look at the conditioning field. They want us all in this movie now, right? They want us all in this movie. And it's not the powers that be. This is like the neutrino stream, right? Coming from the sun, 70% from the sun, right? And it's all about the evolution of our human species. And you need to know that this program is no longer going to support us, the humans. It's about supporting these new raves, they're called. And these are the new babies that are coming in, 2027 plus, that I talked about in my webinar. Okay. So let's go for some tarot. And I'm trying to think, just let me check in with my intuition if there's anything more to add to that. Yeah. So I want to say, right, that we can use, the other thing that I want to say as a projector, because we can look at it from the human design perspective, right? The human design perspective about the movie, but we can also at the same time, because this is a synergy, we can hold the perspective of this astrological, which is Aries, like embracing your own self, standing up for yourself, really getting strong in your relationships as yourself, as your authentic self, moving out of any codependent dynamics like people pleasing and sacrifice and all those words, all those tribal words, right? You can use that because you're leaving behind the shadow of Libra and embracing Aries. And we've got until January, right? So you can use this. And you can also use this about letting go of this hatred of the body, getting too serious, only perceiving yourself as a material being, and then really embracing the surrender to the soul, like for surrender to the soul, embracing your innocence, right? And your innocence is that frequency of truth within you, right? And this will protect you. This will protect you. Okay? So I'm hoping that my messages are not too contradicting one another, because I'm able to hold a lot of different perspectives myself on things that I've never been like a purist, you know, like, well, it's just this dogma. It's like, no, it's a lot of different things. And this is Aquarius. People were talking about that in the chat, right? Aquarius, where the energy, Pisces was all about the power was in division, right? Blowing up things, dividing things, destroying people's self-esteem, right? The atomic bomb, all that stuff, right? There's power in that. There's no power in that anymore. Now there's power in merging. It's all about merging, right? The age of Aquarius is about merging. You're merging things together. So there's power wherever there's synergy now. But just take what, right? It's like, oh, I don't groove with that, what he said there, but I like that, right? So don't take my words as gospel, just like really to take them in. I take them deep inside. Like, does this resonate with my truth or not? And just check it out, right? It's about experiment, right? Aquarius is about experimenting, right? It's scientific. Okay. So I wanted to go to this. So there's the astrological chart, right? So there's the north node and the south node. Astrologically, it's 3 degrees 41 minutes and then it turned in terms of human design, right? The north node in the 25, right? That correlates to the 25. So it's still in Aries. So so this is the first decan, right? Because it's 0 to 10 degrees. So the first decan of Aries, and that's 2 of Wands. And then the first decan of Libra is 2 of Swords. So it's leaving behind the 2 of Swords. I can't make a decision, right? I can't make a decision. I'm caught in this, in duality. Should I do this? Should I do that? Back and forth in the mind, right? Because it's swords in the mind. But it's completely self-imposed, right? Like that thing's not even covering her eyes, right? You can see her eyes there. It's like all pretend. I don't know what to do. I'm just in my mind, back and forth. And there's the moon. And the moon represents your intuition, right? The intuition goes beyond the mind. Your intuition is your neutral mind. That's when the mind comes to a still point, and then the voice of your soul can come up, right? So this is all pretend, right? Pretending. So you want to leave this behind. Should I or shouldn't I? Especially in terms of your relationships, because this is a relationship access point, right? So maybe you have a relationship in your life right now. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I want to go and, and then he'll do this or she'll do this. And then I want to stay and I talk myself out of it. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it'll change. Maybe it's just me wanting too much, being too demanding. Maybe I'm just emotional, right? Whatever you're telling yourself, that's the 2 of Swords. And the ego, not self, is telling you this, right? And so this is what to embrace. And so this is not should I or shouldn't I. This is like looking into the future, right? This is your life. This is not hiding behind a relationship. This is your life, right? Your life. So there he is. He's in his castle. He's not out of the castle yet, right? He's got the globe. So he's looking into the future, right? He's looking into the future. And he's got one of his wands, and that represents inspiration, right? Inspiration. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? I'm looking to the future. That's the North Node, right? Here. And then after that, right after the Two of Wands, because it doesn't stay there in January, right? It turns, and it turns into the Ten of Cups, right here, right? Like the last part of January, just before it comes into the 36. Let me just, I feel like I'm confusing people and I don't want to. Okay. If we go like this is the mandala, the human design mandala. So stick with me here. See, there's the 25. That's the Two of Wands, right? And then it moves into the 36, right? It moves into the 36. So at the last tail end, it's going to be in the second decan, right, of Aries, and that means it goes into the Ten of Cups, right? Right, the Ten of Cups. That's how it worked. So just trust me on this system here, right? So it moves from the Two of Wands to the Ten of Cups. So you want to be like this, right? I've got my Two of Wands, and I'm looking at my Ten of Cups, right? What are my Ten of Cups? What are my Ten of Cups? This is happiness in all levels. This is emotional fulfillment, right? This is like everything, the rainbow, right? Everything that you've ever dreamed about, right? Your dream, basically. So this is the 25, right? It's calling you to do this, is to look. Don't be in the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is keeping you in paralysis. And you're not moving. You're not moving at all. So even taking this action for the new moon, I would do this for the new moon. It's not about taking action this new moon. It's about gathering and focusing your energy, right? And I'm going to focus my energy on the Ten of Cups. What have I learned about myself? Your emotions are going to let you know. What has my heart been telling me? What do I want? What's my Ten of Cups, right? What are my Ten of Cups? You don't want to stay in the seriousness that I'm just this matter. No, you're the spirit. You're here to have human experiences, not the other way around, not the occasional spiritual experience, right? You're here to have a human experience as a soul, So that's what this is saying, right? Is to start looking at your Ten of Cups. Because 2025 is going to be a very transformational year. Okay. So let me look. Okay, great. Anika says I'm not confusing. Great. Because I don't like confusing people. That's another gift of mine is the 23 is simplicity. Okay. Let me see. Yes, learn about unconditional love through dogs or cats. Okay. 1510. That's the 17, right? The North Node 17 that's ending. It's about having that it's omniscient. That's the city. The divine gift is omniscience. And that's like seeing all perspectives, all sides, but carrying them lightly. That's right. Okay. The Two of Swords, yeah. The Two of Swords is not fun to be in that energy. And that's being in the duality of the mind, right? Because whenever you find one thing, you're going to find its opposite. That's how we got a walnut in our head. There's two halves, right? You see one, you're going to see the other. Okay, so let's do some readings. And just a reminder here, I'm doing a 2025 year ahead webinar series. And the webinar series is going to be a long webinar on Saturday and a long webinar on Sunday. And that's December. And I have stuff up on my website about that. So you want to check that out. You want to check that out for the New Year's Human Design Chart. Okay, because we're in this last 7-year cycle, right? Before that started in 2020, that ends in 2027. Okay, so this is the question I want to ask the tarot and the cards, which is, how do I let go of seriousness in my relationships? And then how do I embrace unconditional love and innocence, right? Spirit of the self, that 25. Okay, so we'll start off with, the generators. Let's go the overlays. Okay, here's the generators. Okay. Just have a little sip of my... There it is. Okay. Oh. Let me see. I want to show the generator something. Bear with me, generators. I want to show you this. It's on my other computer, though. Okay. Let me see if I can airdrop it quickly. Okay. There it is. You got a kick out of this. Okay. Okay, it's sending. Oh, it's not going to work. Okay. Maybe I'll read it to you. Okay. It says, I don't know why it's not doing that. There we go. It's coming over now. It's coming over now. Okay. Oh, okay, I don't want to waste your time. I should have had it done before. Anyway, they call it polyworking. This is for the generators. This is a new thing, right? They call it polyworking. So why polyworking is the future of work and how to become a polyworker. This is the name of the article, and basically it's about how do I become a polyworker? How do I have more than 2 jobs? Right? Yeah. And this is like we're living in a generator world. I mean, I'm a projector. This is not my world. I'm not living in my world, right? This is a generator, manifesting generator world, and it's all about the 9 to 5 grind. And there they are trying to make the trying to get more and more energy from the generator and the manifesting generators because they have the life force energy, right? If you're an MG or a generator, this sacral, that's all colored in for you. This is life force energy. So the program is like, how can we get more and more energy, right? The not self. How can that not self give us more and more energy? Well, they need more jobs to do. So basically, it's the outer external that's telling you what your value is. This is how much we'll pay you. This is what your time and energy is worth to me, right? And your energy is precious. It's invaluable as an MG and a generator, right? So really, we're transmuting, well, the generators and the manifesting generators, they're transmuting the archetype of the slave, right? And so this is like no one has any right to your energy. And I just laughed when I thought that, like trying to hype up this polyworking, right? Which is like, how can you be more of a slave to us, right? So it's just you making a decision. Making the decision. This is my energy. This is my energy. And do I want to use my energy, expend my energy? Because that's your money, is your life force energy is worth, it's just a reflection of that. That's your real money, is your life force energy. And like I said to people, it's like, would you pay that other person to be in a relationship with? Would you pay them to be in a relationship with them? Would you pay that friend? I want to hang out with you, so here I'm going to pay you money. Would I go to this job and I'm going to pay to be there to do this work? You've got to look at life like this now, right? Yeah, and it's just the flip. And the slave is like, well, I've got no choice. The victim is, I have no choice. I've got to fit into this system. And it's like, no, we're completely recreating the system together, right? This new earth. And remember, you respond. As a generator, you respond with a yes or no from your sacral, but the universe also responds to you as you respond with a yes or no. So you have a lot of power as a generator and manifesting generator. So don't fall for this, like, how can we get these generators and manifesting generators to feel good? That's the tribe, right? That's this gate of manipulation. How can we manipulate the tribe to get their energy, and so that they feel good about giving us all their energy, you know, working themselves to death, basically, right? Okay, so generators, this is about the new movie that's coming on board. And how can you work with this energy? So it's letting go of this seriousness in your relationships, the seriousness in your relationships, and embracing unconditional love. Right? The shadow. So let's see. And seriousness is really about a mindset, right? It's a mindset. It may be choosing your relationships based on very superficial things with the 46, like letting that go. Well, they look good. I really like their body, their form. Well, we're much more than our form, right? To let that go. Okay. So let's see what we got for our generator friends. What's the ego that's up for the generator friends for this movie? I think you got that before, and then the guidance. And what's the guidance for for our generator friends. Okay. So the generator for the ego heads up, got the effects. There's the movie. There's two are in a movie. And then failure. And then the guidance is the star card. There's the star card there. Major Arcana. Okay. So basically embracing unconditional love. So this is the letting go of seriousness in your relationship. Right? And this is that the seriousness is about being trapped in the material. Right? Here. And you want to embrace this unconditional love. That's the 25. This is a deep, deep surrender and acceptance. Deep, deep surrender and acceptance here. Because with this North Node, you're expanding your view, right? You're expanding your view and you're looking at your 10 of Cups, right? Your 10 of Cups, which is the opposite of this 46 of seriousness. That's the South Node, right? Okay. So then you got the effects. Okay. So you got the effects, and the effects card has to do with the ego. This is like an ego trap, and the ego trap is saying that I'm completely looking at the surface of things. Because remember, oh, I know why this card is being picked now. Okay, so remember, if you watch the beginning of my video, I talk about this 4625. This is seen through the illusion, right? So this is the movie the collective is going to be seeing. So you're going to be affected by this. This is the illusion. This is getting lost in the appearance of things. It's very superficial. It's refusing to look deeper, right? But the 4625 is like, now it's time to penetrate through the illusion, not get fooled by these appearances, right? Right here in your life. So the effects card is like you're not seeing the connection between cause and effect. And this is a spiritual law. You could call it karma too, right? You're not seeing the cause and the effect So you're not looking at the cause, which is to penetrate through the illusion, right? So the cause could be, I'm having some judgmental, right? I've been very judgmental in my relationships, generators. I've been judgmental in my relationships. And maybe I haven't been speaking about it, right? Maybe I'm judgmental towards my relationships and I'm not even speaking to another person about it. I'm just having these negative thoughts in my head about this person, you know? And then suddenly you run into that person 2 or 3 days later and they act really negative towards you. They act negative towards you. What does the ego say? Well, look, right? Look, she's this and she's that, right? And starts to interpret, and there's like, it's me and them, right? There's separation. There's me and then there's them. That's them. Your judgments were correct. Your judgments were correct. So the other way to look at this and the truth of the matter is that you caused that. The effect is that friend, so-called friend, was giving you the cold shoulder, maybe not speaking to you, right? So you've got to go to the cause, which is like, oh, I was holding all those judgmental thoughts towards her, right? And then the effect, because we're all connected in the quantum field, then the effect is she comes back and she's giving you the cold shoulder, right? You're not seeing that there's a cause. There's something that caused that. So this is about embracing the power of thinking, And look what you got that support you during this time. You got Mercury in retrograde still to December 15th. So you're going to become very, very aware of your thoughts. So just watch your thoughts. And if your mind is judgmental, don't identify with it. Don't identify with it, because the mind will be judgmental. That's just how the mind works. But it's just you don't identify with it. No, that's true, right? What my mind is thinking is true. Don't identify with it. Just let it do its thing. The problem comes is when you identify with it, and then the consequences come, right? So this is what it means to be a spiritual adult, is you start taking responsibility for your reality. And you're looking at like, okay, how did I cause that? Oh yeah, I was having like super negative towards this person, right? And I was identifying with it. Yeah. So if you look at the movie, because we're watching a movie with the 25 and the 46, right? You just stay in your seat and you watch the movie. You don't identify with the characters or whatever is going on, right? You have that, this is Aquarius, right? The detachment. So this would be like your mind, because your biggest movie is your own mind in your head, right? Is to detach from those thoughts in your mind. So look at that for this nodal axis. And then you've got failure here. So the belief that you're a failure. So if we take it back to your friend and giving you the cold shoulder, then this is like, I'm a failure. She doesn't want to talk to me. You could have that, right? Because it's got the failure card here. So again, it's like this is the ego that's keeping you in the illusion, not letting you penetrate. It's penetrating through the illusion here with the 4625. And it's keeping you from moving forward in your life, right? This belief that you're a failure. And also keeping you out of the Two of Wands, right? I'm looking to my future. I'm looking to my Ten of Cups. I want ultimate happiness, right? Ultimate happiness. And what is that for me? To start, it's new moon in Sagittarius. It's like really open up your mind. Get expansive. This is what this is saying, to get expansive towards your own happiness, right? And the 46, if we look at the 46, the gift of it, if you want to embrace the gifts, is delight, right? The 46 is delight. And then the 25 is like is acceptance and universal love. These two combos, right? So this is about happiness. And when you embrace your happiness and your joy, immediately your frequency is going to start to rise, right? Start to rise. And then the advice here is the star, and this is to have faith. To have faith, right? To like have your alignment with the North Node. That's the star. The North Node is the star, right? And that's to go towards acceptance. Just accept people, right? Even if they're nasty, right? Even if they're super negative, right? Just accept them. Just accept them. Don't want them to change. Don't go. That's resisting the movie. It's like I'm just completely accepting the way that they are, right? So this is to have hope, inspiration, positivity, faith. It's healing, and it's hope for the future. To have hope for the future, right? To have faith. And to have faith is to align yourself with the divine, right? The divine wants this 10 of Cups for you. Yeah. Okay. Let me just have a sip here. So this disconnect between cause and effect, that can make you serious, because you're going to listen to your ego. When you accept that there's a cause and effect, then there's this lightness that can come to you, this joy. It's just, I just need to correct, right? I don't need to beat myself up about it. I just need to make the correction. No, I'm not going to identify with my thoughts. And wow, do I have a lot of power, right? That I have power in this universe. I have power in my own life, right? And so I have to use that responsibly. I can't go into victim, right, anymore. Okay, so that's what I got for the generators here. And let me get here. The generators. We didn't do the twin flames. I need to do the twin flames first. Okay, twin flames. So we're talking about this nodal axis change that's happening on December 4th and 5th. So be sure to watch the beginning of the video to learn more about it. But this has been the relationship year, right? It's been in Aries and Libra for quite a while, and it's going to be coming out of that axis in January 2025. And then we're going to have a whole new theme to deal with, right? So this is the last of the Aries Libra lessons that we're in. Okay. And this is for the twin flames. And so I'll pick a card for the chaser and the runner. So if you're on here, you probably know about the twin flame, what a twin flame is. And I did a little video on my YouTube. You can look at that. I think that's still up, what a twin flame is. Okay. So this is about letting go of seriousness. That's the shadow. The self node is in the shadow of the 46, which is seriousness. And it's about embracing unconditional love and innocence. And the unconditional love is what holds the twin flame connection together. That's why it's so powerful. Okay. Okay. So let's do a card, an ego card for the chaser. Or the Venus person. What do we have for the Venus person? What's the ego that's up for the Venus person that's keeping them serious? And then we'll do one for the runner. What's keeping the runner? What's keeping the runner in the serious? What's keeping the runner serious? And this energy of seriousness. The runner's not so forthcoming here. I don't feel like the runner's very present in their life. Okay, runner. Even the cards are running. Okay, runner. That's the runner. What's the ego that's up for that runner? Let's see. Oh. Okay. Is that it? Only 5. 2. Okay. Okay. And then the guidance. Is that correct for the runner? Is that correct for the runner? Yes or no? Is that correct for the runner? Yes. Okay. Okay. So what do we have for the runner? Guidance for the runner, since we're in the runner energy. What's the guidance for the runner? That's way too many. 7 of Cups. And then what about the chaser? What about the chaser? What What's the guidance for the chaser? Okay. Okay. So for the chaser, we got stuck. The stuck card. I'm stuck. And then the two of Pentacles for guidance and the Hermit here. And so this is the energy for this nodal cycle that goes until late January. Okay? So this is for the chaser or the Venus, the Venusian one, right? So this is the one that's the one that seemingly is chasing in the twin flame connection. And so remember that the whole game here is to come into union with your own self, chaser. So this is the divine masculine, divine feminine energy, and bringing those two into union into yourself, right? Basically. And this is perfect. Universal love, right? There's 25. And so this is acceptance. It's the gate of acceptance, or the gate of the spirit of the self, but it's the gift of acceptance. And this is about surrender, right? So it's a deep surrender to your soul. So this is to get out of your mind and get out of the ego mind, because this creates suffering. And that's that chasing energy, right? I need to know what they're doing, what's going to happen, what's this connection, how is it going to manifest in the 3D, right? And that's the chasing energy. When all your mind and your ego are fixated on that other person, that's when you're in chasing energy. That's not the purpose of this connection. The purpose of the connection is for you to awaken and to go inside and to surrender to your own soul and balance those energies, right? So the stuck card, this is childhood wounding. This is the childhood wounding card for the chaser, right? So this is a good time to do your inner child work, because the twin flame connection can bring up deep childhood wounds in both the runner and chaser. But this is the card for you, right? For the chaser. So this is a refusal to grow up, a refusal to grow up. And so what does that mean? What does that mean? That means the inner child. We all have a child inside of us. That's our inner child. It's an entity. This is our innocence, right? 25 is about innocence. This gate is all about innocence. That's our inner child. But if we haven't done our inner child work, then there's a wounded child, and the wounded child refuses to grow up. This is when you allow your wounded child to run the show, to run your life. And that wounded child, as soon as you go into separation, or even probably before that, before that too, these childhood wounds will come up for you, right? So it's showing you where you're stuck in a refusal to grow up. So you want to look at that, and that's going to come through your emotional body, right? Your emotional body. So say you're feeling really depressed, or you're anxious and you're worrying, you're really sad, you're melancholic, or you're really angry or depressed. That's your inner child. You've got to look at it like that. That's my inner child that's calling for my attention right now. And am I going to stuff it with, stuff that this inner child with food or shopping or drugs or alcohol, or am I going to look at this to do this work, right? So the guidance is to don't be doing this back and forth where you're going out of balance, because this is the Two of Pentacles, going out of balance. So going into extremes. Right? So it's telling you to come back into balance, get your inner child under wraps, which is it's just about paying attention to your inner child, which means just pay attention to your own emotional state and nurture yourself, learn to nurture yourself. and then go inside. That's the hermit. So this is saying to spend some time on your own. Spend some time on your own to really get to know this inner child and to come into balance. The Two of Pentacles is to come into balance. Yeah. So the 46, right? The 46, this is about getting too stuck in the material world. So you don't want to be doing that, getting too stuck in the material world. Here, this is what you want to let go of. And so this Two of Pentacles could mean that too. Like maybe you're too stuck in the material and refusing to go inside. And then the Hermit is saying, come inside, come inside. There's lots of wisdom here, right? He's carrying the lantern, and that's the star. That's the generator. Just got this. If you're a generator chaser, then this is for you, because that's the star card is in that lantern, right? So your North Node is inside you, is really, really inside you. That's what this is saying. Okay, so that's the chaser. So if you're a runner, you may resonate with this too a little bit. And then we've got the runner, the one that seems to be running from the connection. And they've got the hide the heartbreak card. I think they got that last time too. Hide heartbreak. And then the White Knight. So this is really easy here. So this reminds me of the three of Swords energy, right? In tarot. The Three of Swords. So this is pain, right? So this is trying to avoid pain. So trying to stuff it down. Because the twin flame connection can bring this up. And like the runner can say, well, that doesn't make sense because I'm upset because something happened in my family, right? That's what I'm really upset about. And it's like, no, the twin flame activated you. And what it's shown you, runner, is how separated you are from your authentic self. For the runners, it's like how separated they are from their authentic self. Because the runners play the nicey nice I'm fine face. They put the I'm fine face on. And that's the inauthenticity that starts to crack, right? That mask starts to crack with the runners when they meet their twin flame, because this is what is underneath it. It's like a deep pain. So it's interesting that the chaser got the stuck card, the wounded inner child, and this is the wounded inner child too, is the heartbreak. So the first time the runner had their heart broken, which is in childhood, right? So that's what they're trying to run from. So they avoid people. So the runner avoids. How they hide their own heartbreak is they avoid people who are emotional, right? Emotional. And that's the chaser. Do you see? The chaser is showing them their own vulnerability, their own sensitivity, right? They embody that. The chaser's often the one that's more emotional, the one that's more in touch with their feelings and emotions, and the runners are more attached to their minds, right? And they avoid emotional people, or they get very judgmental towards, and they may have done that to the chaser, to their twin flame. Well, they're so emotional and they're too sensitive, and they're crazy, whatever they're saying, right? They're hysterical, right? That has nothing to do with me. Remember, it's a mirror. It's a powerful mirror, the twin flames, a powerful mirroring of one another. So this is a refusal to feel their broken heart, right? And one of the ways that we try to heal our broken heart is through booze, right? Through alcohol, through drinking. This is like a misguided attempt to heal your broken heart, right? So the runner's got to watch that, to not be reaching for things to hide their heartbreak. And with this energy, right? This energy that's coming, and then in 2025, they're not going to be able to hide in their inauthenticity much longer. So they've got that, but also they're hiding their heartbreak by being the savior for other people. So this is the White Knight, right? The White Knight, and this is the ego. Only I can save them, right? Only me. I can save them. So maybe they've got people in their life that they're saving all the time, right? That they're rescuing. I got to rescue them. Because what the runner will do here, because they're really trying to hide from their own heartbreak, is they pity. They confuse pity with love, right? It's not that they love. This is this false love that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, right? This 25 is universal love. This is unconditional love. This is the true love that the twin flames share. They share this, right? But for the runner, it's buried underneath these dynamics, right? Of refusing to feel their own heart, because underneath that is like a mountain of unconditional love for the runner, right? So these are the dynamics, right? Well, I pity that other person, because then I don't have to face my own broken heart. It's them. I got to fix them. I got to go and save them. I got to be the white knight, right? I got to be the savior. I got to save them. And so what you're doing is the runners go into sacrifice, and they're avoiding. It keeps the focus off their own pain, and that's how they avoid. So, and then the guidance here for the runners is the 7 of Cups, and this is about focusing, right? So this is the new moon, so it's about focusing your energy. Focus on your energy, on your own healing, right? That's the twin flame connection, triggers a deep healing. And healing means to go back to your original self, right? This is a deep surrender to the soul, right? So it's focusing with clarity and discernment. So maybe this is a program, right? Maybe this is a program for the runners. They've been doing this all their life, avoiding their own broken heart by being everybody else's savior, right? And keeping the focus off themselves. So the 7 of Cups is like focus your energy. Focus your energy. Have discernment. Oh, I'm playing this game with this person. Maybe they can help themselves. Maybe I'll just teach them how to fish instead of running out and doing all the fishing for them, basically, right? I'll teach them how they can take care of themselves, right? So again, I love how these cards are mirroring this, right? So the 2546, the movie, is about penetrating through the illusion, right? So the lesson here is I'm going to penetrate through the illusion. There's an illusion that's being presented to me over and over and over again. And what is it? It's that I have to say, only I can save. Only I can save them, right? Being the white knight, right? And you're going to see through the illusion, like, oh, I've been avoiding my own broken heart. It's not about saving other people. That's the great illusion. So you want to go deep, runners. If there's a runner watching, you want to go deep and penetrate through this illusion, right? Like, what's behind this? What's motivating me to run out and be everybody's savior, right? What's motivating me? And it's going to be this broken heart. Yeah. Okay, so you may, runners and chasers, maybe you'll kind of resonate with the both of them, like a mixture of the both of them, right? Because there's a mirror. Remember, there's a mirroring, but the mirror here is really about childhood wounding. That's what I see. Okay, that's what I got for them. Okay, so then let's go to the MGs, manifesting generators. Pick some cards. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the manifesting generators. We're talking about the nodal change, the nodal axis change, and that means the movie reel is changing. That means our movie's going to be different. We've gotten from the 17 in the north node and the 18 in the south node, And now we're moving into the 46 in the south node and the 25 in the north node. So remember, you have your own movie, and it's your natal chart. It's in your natal chart. So that's what you're here to, it's your environment, what you're here to see, and that's where your soul's growth is. So you want to look at your own natal chart, but you're going to notice this. This is the conditioning movie that we're all being directed to see. So it's about letting go of seriousness, letting go of the belief that you're just a material being, having the occasional spiritual experiences. Okay, not interesting. Okay, that's the ego card. So I'll do one guidance, more guidance card. And then you're here to embrace universal love. Here to embrace your innocence. Okay. And what's the guidance for the manifesting generators? Oh. Okay. I think he got this last time too. The slippery fish. The slippery fish. There's nothing more elusive than the slippery fish. And then for guidance, you got the sun. The happy card. Okay. So slippery fish, I talked about in other videos. I can't remember the last one. The slippery fish, this is a defense pattern. It's a defense pattern of the ego. So maybe yourself, MGs, you've got a slippery fish pattern. So slippery fish is like you won't, the mind is all over the place. All over the place. So maybe you're dealing with this in your relationships, manifesting generator. You have someone in your life that's a slippery fish. And that means they'll never give you a straight answer, right? They never give you a straight answer. You ask them a question, right? You ask them a question, like a direct question, and then they give you the slippery fish answer. It's like all over the place. You even ask them a yes or no question. Clearly you can answer yes or no. They got the slippery fish answer. They're just all over the place. Giving you the dog and pony show over here, right? Over here. And look at where the Mercury is. Mercury in retrograde. It's in, right? This is about our communication. It's retrograde till December 15th, right? This is about manipulation. It's about manipulation. You got the 31 in Mars. We talked about this the other day, right? This is more manipulation, the 31. Mars is still in aspect with Pluto, right? This opposition. Right? Well, the 31 here is arrogance, right? So we've got 31, we've got manipulation here in Mars, because that's the actions, right? And then you got the slippery fish, right? So maybe you're dealing with a slippery fish, right? And they've got this shadow of maybe arrogance, and this is like the manipulation of language. Manipulation of language. These are the lawyer types, right? Do you know what I mean? The lawyer types, they can win arguments. They could argue with the devil and they'd win the argument, right? They're so good. They're so good with language. That's the slippery fish, and you're not getting a straight answer, right? In your relationships, maybe you're dealing with that. So what do you do? What I say, right? You don't go up to your mind. When you meet somebody like this, that's the slippery fish, you're not going to win. You will not win with a person like this, right? Will not win. Where you go is you drop into the self. There's the 25, right? You drop into the 25, which is about a surrender, a deep surrender to your soul. So what does that mean? You close your eyes. You drop down deep, 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 deep inside you. If you want to look at it like a physical reference point, it's like the navel, because you're an MG. So you go to the navel region and you pretend that you live there. Pretend that there's a throne. Pretend that there's a little throne. It's like Men in Black, right? But it's not in your head. It's in your navel. There's a little throne there, and that's where you sit. That's where your awareness is. That's where your awareness is. And when you're deep within that, you're not listening to the thoughts of your mind. You're completely present, right? You're present on your throne. Well, you're going to meet your frequency there. Your unique frequency. And this is the frequency of truth. So then you ask the question, but you stay on your throne. You don't get up in your head, right? As soon as you're in your head, you lost. You lost. You're not going to win, right? Especially if it's driving you crazy. You just want the truth, right? You just want the truth. Well, this is where you'll find the truth is inside you, right? So you're on your throne. You let that person do their dog and pony show, right? With the arrogance, with the manipulation, and you're going to know because you're in the frequency of truth. And then it's like, oh, I just got the truth. And it's not what that person's saying with their words, right? It's something else. It's deeper. So this is really about penetrating through the illusion, the 2546. The illusion, you're penetrating through illusion, right? And so what's the guidance here is to be the happy one on the unicorn, right? This is the sun card. This is exposure. You're exposing yourself to the truth, right? Exposing yourself to the truth. This is about trusting yourself. It's about trusting your soul, not your mind, right? Not your mind. Yeah. Because, 2025, I'm doing a webinar series on it. There's going to be a lot of mental health issues. And this is the people that are identified with their minds, right? The mind is not equipped to navigate you through these times. Now, definitely now, and certainly not in 2025 and then up to 2027, right? So the sun is to be happy. You're filled with energy and vitality. So if this is maybe the slippery fish, arrogance, manipulation is really like depleting your vitality. Maybe it's affecting your health, right? This dynamic that you're in in your relationships. It's like to stay, that's where you're going to get healthy, is you stay inside. You stay inside. And staying inside means what I just said, but staying inside does not mean that you're in your mind, because some people will say, well, the mind's inside me. No, it's not, right? No, it's not. It's outside of you. It's outside of the soul, right? The mind is outside of your soul. That's not you being inside. That's you being outside and external, right? And this is where you can be manipulated, right? You can be very easily manipulated when we're in our mind, when we're listening with our mind and not listening to the deeper soul, who we are, right? And this is what's going to bring you happiness and joy and vitality and confidence, right? And truth. And then you won't need to argue. You don't need that other person to tell you the truth, because you know the truth. You'll know the truth. When you know the truth inside you, you know the truth outside you, right? Yeah. So that's what I would say for the MGs. Okay. And let's go and watch the beginning of the video. You'll learn more here. Okay. Because MGs, you want your 10 of cups, right? You want your 10 of cups. You want to get out of this dynamic that you're in. Okay. Let's go for the projectors. Okay, projectors. We're talking about the movie shifting. Your movie now is about penetrating through the illusion, looking beyond the appearances of things. I don't even think I need to say that to projectors. I'm a projector. We got the laser beam aura. We got the penetrating aura. But this is the collective movie, right? Okay. So what? Let's see what we got for a card for the projector. Okay. What do we got for the projector? What's stopping the projector? Okay. Conflict for the projector. Okay. And what's the guidance? What's the guidance for the projector? That's way too many for the projector. Oh. I keep getting this card myself every day. Okay. Conflict. I forgot who got that last time, the conflict card. And then the guidance is the Fool. Right there, the Fool. Okay. So conflict. Projectors are in conflict. And maybe they're in conflict about their life right now. Okay, so they got the conflict card. Okay. So you may be experiencing conflict with others, or you will be experiencing conflict with others. There's yeah, it's an intense time right now energetically, and our world is basically falling apart with the cross of planning. All our systems that have been in place are starting to dissolve. And in 2026, we're really going to see that when Neptune finally moves out of Pisces. That's the last sign, and then it starts like a brand new cycle in Aries. Yeah. So, conflict. Let's see. Conflict. In terms of your relationships. Okay, North Node. I guess not to take your conflicts with your relationships so serious, because it's about letting go of seriousness in your relationships. And we're going to disagree. I mean, if we even go to the 6, because the shadow of conflict, it comes off the solar plexus, is the 6, is that we're going to disagree. Conflict comes with friction. Any kind of creative endeavor always starts with friction, right? So I want to remind the projectors that you're here to work with people. You're here to work with people. And you're going to get called out, especially if you're a 2-4. You're going to get called out more and more for guidance and help from people from the other types. So you're here to work with people one-on-one, and sometimes conflict will show up, right? Yeah. And so the conflict, you always want to bring it back to yourself. So often what gets projectors in trouble is when they go to their mind, right? They don't have the patience to wait. All the types have to wait, right? But, the MGs and the Gs just have to wait to respond. The projectors have to wait to be recognized. So there can be a conflict that shows up, just an internal conflict. Do I follow my strategy and authority, or do I listen to my mind that's like clamoring for my attention, to take action, right? To initiate, to try to be a manifestor when I'm a projector, right? So there can be this conflict between your mind, right? And then let's bring it to the 25, to your soul. There can be this conflict between your mind and your soul. Your soul is saying one thing, but your mind is saying another thing, right? So how this will show up is it will show up with outer conflict. So if you have outer conflict with somebody else on the external world, it's definitely, it's a reflection of the inner conflict that's going on inside you. Right? So do I follow my head or do I follow my heart and my intuition? And sometimes if you just make the choice, because remember, we're leaving that Two of Swords energy, right? This is the South Node. The South Node is here. And Libra. South Node Libra is the Two of Swords here that we're leaving behind, right? So this is conflict. This is definitely the conflict card here. And it's all mental. It's the back and forth, back and forth. And look what's there behind her is the moon. And that's the intuition. That represents intuition that you do know, right? You do know at a deep level that you have to wait, right? You have to wait for that recognition, else it's not going to work, right? So that's what the mind says. Well, maybe it will work this time, right? Maybe it's different this time if I initiate. It's like, no, you got to wait. You got to wait to be recognized, especially in your relationships, right? Especially in the relationships, because you want to enter correctly into your relationships as a projector. Because if you enter incorrectly as a projector, you have to remember you have a focused and absorbing aura, right? So I don't talk a lot about the absorbing part. You absorb the energy of the other as a projector, right? I went out to a dinner, Thanksgiving dinner with a bunch of people last night, and I got home and I was exhausted. And I had a good time. I was like, definitely like high vibe people that I was surrounded by, but I'm absorbing their energy. I'm absorbing their energy. I had to come home and have a little nap, right, in the evening and then get up. And it was like, oh, I'm just processing this energy that I absorbed at that dinner party, right? So you have to really start to value your energy as a projector, right? So this is like you're eating that energy, right? It's like you're eating, that's the absorbing. I'm eating that energy. So if you get in the wrong relationships, right? It's really difficult for a projector to withdraw from a manifesting generator and a generator, like how they work together. When a manifesting generator or a generator wants you, they lock into you, energetically lock into you. So it takes a lot of like effort, right? And sometimes it's like you don't even have the effort. You can't leave until they release you, right? So you want to enter in correctly, and that means they need to recognize you, right? They have to recognize you. They have to value you, honor you, right? And recognize you, value you, and then you enter in correctly. Then they like open up their aura wide for you, right? Otherwise, you're deconditioning, right? If you're a projector, let me know like how long it took you to decondition out of a relationship, right? My marriage, it took me years and years and years to decondition from that relationship, right? So you want to be really, really careful with the people that you enter into relationships with, because you absorb them, right? So this is the conflict, right? So as soon as you get out of this Two of Swords energy, and it's like, okay, I'm moving into this Two of Wands and I'm expanding my vista, right? Expanding my vista of what I want for my life as a projector, right? Then the conflict disappears. You're not going to have this conflict in the external world. So just try it. And then the guidance is be the fool. And that means to step forward, right? Throw down the Two of Swords. I'm done with this back and forth and in conflict with my mind and my intuition. I'm committing, right? I'm going to commit. I'm committing here, right? To move forward, the fool. And I would even take that to the chart, right? because there's the 51, that's the channel of initiation, is on the other side of the 25, the north node, right? This is like the Fool. I'm going to just jump, right? I'm jumping off the cliff there. I'm trusting, right? I'm trusting. Yeah. So this isn't like a physical, like, oh, I'm going to move or something, or I'm making these big changes in my life. It's about an attitude, right? It's about your attitude of being innocent. The Fool is innocent. I'm going to be innocent. I'm going to be free. I'm going to go on an adventure. I'm going to go on an adventure. And I'm open to a new beginning. So projectors are up for a new beginning. Right? And where's it taking them? It's taking them to their 10 of cups. They're going to come to their 10 of cups. Right? Yeah. So what he's looking, like if I could like turn that image around, it would be like someone calling, right? Calling. Hey, projector, I recognize you. I'm inviting you to this reality over here. I'm inviting you to move through this portal, right? Something like that. So just to be open. This is what this energy is saying, projectors, is to be open and to be very aware, and I would even say cautious of who you enter relationship with, right? Especially this last part here. Okay. And let's go for Manifestor. Manifesta. So we're talking about the movie reel has changed for the Manifestors. We're moving into the realm of love for the Manifestors. And embracing that 25, which is a love gate. 25 is a love gate. It's all about universal love. And this is just being love, right? Surrendering to your soul and just being the embodiment of love, a conduit for unconditional love. Let's see what the ego is stopping. What's the ego that's stopping the Manifestor? Got that. Well, we got two. There's no surprise here what we got. And what's the guidance for the Manifestor? The projector energy out of there. What's the guidance for the Manifestors? Oh, two. Wow. This is why I was laughing, because you got the anger card. That's the signature of the not self Manifestor, is anger. And the I don't think I heard that right card. And then the King of Swords and the Emperor. Very powerful cards here. And masculine. Okay. But the Manifestor is kind of masculine, even if you're in a female form, because the Manifestors initiate, right? They initiate. They initiate and then they manifest, right? But first they've got to inform and share. So this is about you, Manifestors, moving into this new movie, and it's about penetrating through the illusion. 4625. Penetrating through the illusion and realizing that success doesn't mean luck. To be successful isn't about being lucky. Oh, he was just lucky. It's all about hard work and discipline. The 46, because it's connected. It's the channel of discovery, so it's connected to the 29. Right? So it's about that realization that that success takes work. But it's fun, like a fun kind of work. Because it's doing things that you're passionate about, initiating projects that you're passionate about. So there's anger. So that's the not self Manifestor, probably trying to be a generator, which is I'm going to wait around and respond, right? I'm going to wait around and respond. And that's not you, right? You're here to initiate and then to manifest. Okay. So anger can be coming up. Maybe you want that 10 of cups, right? I want the 10 of cups here. And I'm angry I'm not getting that 10 of cups, right? I'm not manifesting that 10 of cups. So remember, you can manifest this, right? You can manifest your 10 of cups, but you have to follow your strategy and your authority, because what will happen is there'll be blocks put up by others. It seems like blocks are put up by others, right? Because if you find that like everything's blocked to me, right? I know I'm a manifestor and this is what I want to manifest, but there seems to be all these blocks in the form of people. Well, then you've got to take it back to yourself and then like, okay, where am I not following my strategy and authority here? Where am I not sharing? Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that. I didn't talk about this, right? And then just start sharing and informing. I don't think I heard this right. This is like remember how the manifestor works? They get the divine downloads, the DDs, right? And then you got the ego in there. I don't think I heard that right. This is the ego and reinterpreting what divine download you're getting, right? And this is allowing the ego to step in and put this, like just put a huge block between you and then the next step, which is sharing, right? So the ego is like, I didn't talk you out of it for some reason, right? Oh, that won't work because I won't get any support. Like just creating this, whatever your belief system is, I won't be supported. Nobody will go for that. How will I pay my bills? Blah, 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 right? So the advice here is the King of Swords, and the King of Swords to me, right? And it can be the Queen of Swords if that works for you. There's no gender in tarot. This is about setting boundaries with yourself. It's setting boundaries with your ego, right? So setting boundaries with the ego. So, okay, so say the divine download comes in, and then right away, the ego's like piping up, right? And what you do, how you deal with this, and this is why you need to meditate. Like I can't stress that enough for people, to meditate so that you can cultivate this connection with your own internal self, right? Because this is where you want to get your answers now, is through your soul. That's the North Node 25, right? So you set that boundary with the ego. Thanks for your input. And now buzz off. I don't want to hear this anymore. And then you go to the next step, right? So you're letting your ego run rampant over you, right? Ruckshaw over you, right? So the King of Swords is like to set a boundary with your ego. And then the Emperor is like boss up. This is the Emperor, the Empress, right? So this is like boss up as a manifestor, right? So don't be waiting to respond to something. If you're maybe your work, there's kind of some transition in your work, right? We'll grab the Emperor. The Emperor doesn't wait around and like go on Craigslist and look for jobs. The Emperor goes, okay, what's my divine download? And the divine download is going to let you know, and it's going to initiate something, right? Some kind of work or new career for you or something, right? So this step into the Emperor energy. And this is Aries, right? That's the North Node is Aries. It's ruled by Aries here, right? So you're strong. I'm a strong and confident leader. That's a manifestor. I'm a manifestor. When you start to have doubts about yourself, you're feeling insecure, you're feeling inadequate, you got to remind yourself, I'm a manifestor, right? I'm a very, very powerful type. I initiate, I manifest. Everyone wants to be a manifestor except a manifestor. That's what's so funny, right? So this is about focus, this is about discipline. This is not about lucky, right? That's the 46. Well, you're just lucky. They're just lucky they're successful. No, you got to work at it, right? You got to work at it. Every day you got to work at it. So this is getting focused and disciplined, right? And the new moon in Sagittarius is like, get focused, gather your energy and get focused. Get into that 2 wands energy, right? And where's my 10 of cups, right? What do I want to manifest? And then allow your mind to open for the DDs to come in, right? Your divine downloads. Yeah. And divine downloads means empty your mind, right? Empty your mind. So set boundaries with the ego. And then you share, and then you initiate. And then you got your 10 of Cups, 2025. There's my 10 of Cups, right? But it comes with some work. That's what the 2546 is saying. Okay. Okay, so let's go for the reflectors to finish it off. And let me know if you're a reflector. Let me know if you're a reflector. So remember too that I have weekly transit reports, and it's only for my subscribers, and I put those on my website. So if you sign up for my newsletter, then you can get your transit report, weekly transit report. They're like 25, they'll be probably maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Just telling you what every day, what's going on in terms of human design. And the links below to opt into my newsletter. And then the webinar too, that's coming up in December. So one webinar on Saturday, one on Sunday. Okay. It's going to be lots of fun because my webinars are not just about information, they're about having an experience. Okay. So this is for the reflectors, judgment. And then let's see what we have for guidance for the reflectors. Remember, reflectors, you gotta be with groups of people that light you up. You gotta be with groups of people that light you up, that surprise you, that delight you. Okay. Interesting. So you got the Judgment card, and that's what we're leaving behind. In terms of the movie, we're leaving behind, right now it's in the 18, and then it's going to move into the 46, right? You can see here, right? The Libra, it's in the 18, and it's going to be in the 46, but it's in here now until December 4th, and then it goes into 46. There's the 17. So right now we're in the movie of the 17-18, which is about we need to fix the planet. We need to fix the planet. How are we going to do it? Challenging authority, right? We've been in that energy, and now it's moving. And so Judgment, 18. So this is, we're leaving go of this. This is the shadow of Judgment right here. Judgment. Yeah. Okay. So looking at the world. So remember that the mind judges this or that, this or that. So seeing something wrong. So you may be seeing something. So this is about your relationships. And then you got the Seven of Swords, which is like the shady. The Seven of Swords is shady. The Seven of Swords is manipulation, right? That's where Mercury in retrograde is, the shadow of manipulation. And Mars is in arrogance too. These two shadows. That would totally fit with the Seven of Swords because it's the mind. So this is trickery, right? It's sneaky. It's like the low-level devil energy, right? So there's that in Judgment. So right away, just as a reflector, like really look at the group of people that you're around. So you're kind of like a right variable too, like quad right, where all the arrows are pointing right, which means that you express the energy of the group. You express the energy of the group here. So maybe you're finding that like in certain groups, I get really judgmental and I get kind of sneaky. I get kind of shady, gossipy, those kinds of things. Sneaky. Well, you got to look at like, what's the group, right? Because I'm reflecting back this energy of this group, you know? So just because it's South Node 46, this is about seriousness. So look at, are the people that I surround myself, are they super serious? Are they really entrenched in the material world, right? With the 46, and you want to be with people that are more in the 25, and that's acceptance, right? Acceptance, it's universal love, it's unconditional love. Those kind, it's innocence. This is innocence. You want to be with the people that are penetrating through the illusion, right? So as a reflector, you're going to see this, right? The reflectors are the most connected out of all the types to the program. So you're going to see this, reflectors. So you don't want to go into judgment about it. You don't want to get into that seven. You may see Seven of Swords energy. We totally see the Seven of Swords energy all over the planet. Kind of sneaky and shady, right? So that's what I would say. Like, really look at the groups of people that you're in right now, right? And take note. Is that right? Are they in this energy of unconditional love? Are they in this energy of innocence? Are they in this energy of seriousness? Are they spiritual? Are they on the path? Are they aligned with me on my path? Right? Do they delight in me? Do they love how much I change all the time, that I'm this chameleon, right? Yeah. So I would also say, don't identify, right? So maybe you're finding, some shit. Yeah, you're right. Some shadiness has come out of me, right? I'm getting judgmental. Well, don't identify with that. It's just a transit that's moving through you, moving through your being as a reflector, right? So don't identify. And it's showing you, like, you want to be around the right people, right? Especially because it's all about relationships, and this ends in January 2025. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I have for everybody. So thank you for liking the video and subscribing if you haven't already. And I will see you. Check out my weekly transit report, which is free. You just have to sign up for the newsletter. And that comes out on Sunday. And then the webinar, it's got really exciting. I've really started to dig deep into researching that. Okay. And then I've got my 50% off recorded readings too until Mercury goes direct, which is December 15th. Okay, so take care of yourself, and I will see you in next video. Okay, Sat Nam Aloha, everybody. Bye-bye.